Hey yo, what is going on with the viewers across the tube? If you don't know which channel you just landed on, well, first let me introduce myself as Tyler, and you just entered the Crypto Focus channel that has so much more to say than the talking heads over at this year's NFL Draft.
But over the next 7 months, he worked his bleep off, and now you see what he's become. He is an amazing story.
You know our awkward silence. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, what do I have to say about the markets? Bitcoin and crypto are pushing up nicely pre-halving, pulling out the 14-day BTC chart, seriously bullish movements, moving up the price $1,000 or over 14% in just 2 weeks. Which if you pull out the Dow Jones over the same time period, BTC has outperformed the traditional markets by a lot. The Dow has only gained about 0.26% over the past 2 weeks, basically where it was on April 14th. Not so similar over the past 2 weeks, eh? But since the Dow's bottom in mid-March, the index has been extremely bullish as well, pushing up from the low 18,000s to the 24,000 mark as of yesterday, an over 32% increase in just over a month. While if you take the bottom of Bitcoin around 5K in mid-March to yesterday, near 7,670, you get an increase of over 52%. The two are following each other. Although it's obvious over the past 2 weeks, the crypto markets have been seeing more of a pump than stonks. It's nice to see, but all I have to say is we have seen this before, right before the big old crash in mid-March. From October to February, the Dow was pumping from 26K to 30K, a 15% increase before the reality of the situation took over and the first dip came. Well, BTC pumped from 7K to 10K from November to February, an increase of over 42%. Again, BTC led the Dow, but once the dip came, and which asset got crushed harder? BTC did, losing 50%, down from 10K to 5K, while the Dow lost 37%, down from 29K to around 18K. So if another crash comes, will the future be like the past? Well, personally, I believe we are in the new hope stage, aka an extended dead cat bounce, before the next fall off of a cliff. And I'll tell you right now, crypto and Bitcoin will not be immune. Why do I think a cliff jump is on the horizon? Well, you know what I say all the time. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So we gotta go back about 100 years to the Great Depression. Pulling out the Dow during that time, we had the roaring 20s right before the crash, of course. And I like to compare that period, the 20s back then, to the 2010s we just experienced. The markets both times went on unbelievable rallies for 10 years, but then both had a crash, which stopped them dead in their tracks. Now the chart from 2010 to today, we don't know what's going to happen. But after the crash, which began in July of 1929, we can see what happened. Zooming in, as we can see after the initial crash, there was a period of new hope. From November 1929 to February 1930, the markets, they pumped for a full 4 months. And what do you know? What happens next? The real downwards bear market took over. The markets lost 83% over the next 2 years, from February 1930 to the bottom in May 1932. I have a very, very, very strong feeling that we are in the new hope stage right now for the markets, just like back then, because there is no way in hell the economic machine gets back to normal before all of this. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. Global travel, global trade, regional travel, regional trade, it's all been flipped on its head. The rally since March in Finance 1.0 seems unprecedented, right? 32% is the definition of a bull market. Yet, a majority of the companies in the indexes are at a standstill, not producing, not providing. I wonder when in history similar things like this has happened, such big pumps, aka new hope. Well, since the Dow Jones was created in the 1800s, Pumps of over 32%, like these, the New Hopes, they all occurred during the Great Depression and on the way down. So, in my opinion, we need more time to be bearish. It's 100% obvious. I mean, after some of these other significant drops in the Dow's history, it has taken an average of 137 bearish days before a true reversal came. And then looky, after that big crash in 1929, we had a quick recovery. But as we know, in February of 1930, another crash, and look at that bear market over 600 days. Will reality take over? Well, turbulent times, they are coming in the next 6 months. We have a presidential election here in the States, and that is surely going to be heated. But like South Park predicted, our options are pretty slim.
Hello, sir. I'm with the Gallup poll. We're trying to get a read on how people will be voting in the upcoming presidential election.
Oh, okay.
Great. And will you be voting for the giant douche or the turd sandwich?
Well, this is usually a giant douche household, but we are going firmly with the turd sandwich.
Oh, the turd sandwich, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, neither of the disgusting two will fix the problem. Sleepy Joe started the roaring 2010s with Obama, and the Trumpster just finished it. These elites, all of them, are pushing towards the same goal, the complete and utter robbery of future generations to fulfill their greedy present fantasies. This is a prime, perfect, and clear as day example of the concept I like to call overshoot and collapse. But before we get into that, it's time for a short sponsored segment of this video, supported by the team over at Hash Wallet, which is creating the most secure crypto hardware wallet today. And like always, the full details of our agreement can be found in the description. So what is this new hardware wallet? Well, Hash Wallet, like other hardware wallets, will support the major cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, all ERC20s, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, and they have many more to come down the road. But that is where the similarities stop between normal hardware wallets like a Ledger and the Hash Wallet, because this wallet comes in the form of a smart card, something that we all know and are used to. It's kind of like a credit card you would keep in your wallet. But would you keep this in your wallet, your crypto assets, worth potentially thousands upon thousands of dollars? Well, remember, they're creating this with security in mind, so let's dig into those security features now. First, the wallet adheres to the concept of what you see is what you sign. Each card will come equipped with an e-ink screen, which will allow the user to visualize and confirm all their operations on card, eliminating any possibility of fraud or impersonation. The card itself is the device, and it's a non-programmable one. What does that mean? Well, it incorporates a certified microprocessor dedicated to performing cryptographic operations, such as the generation of the master seed, the recovery key, and the recovery seed in a random and non-replicable way, as well as for all the processes related to the confirmation of operations. Technical jargon aside, what this means is no man-in-the-middle attacks, which are possible, as we found out with the other hardware wallets that are programmable, like a Trezor or a Ledger. But what happens if you lose the card or your wallet with your card in it? Can someone access the device? Actually, no, as it implements rock-solid identity through fingerprint biometrics. And this data is registered only during device installation, keeping it safely stored and encrypted only on the non-programmable card. So someone can't get into your hardware wallet, but if you lose it, is everything lost forever? It's just like a Ledger where you use a 24-word recovery sheet, right? Nope, no words with Hash Wallet. Recovery is actually split into two pieces when a Hash Wallet is created. A recovery key and a recovery seed is created, of which you need both to recover the wallet with. The key is just that, a cryptographic key, and with Hash Wallet you have the option to store it yourself or you have a custodian store it for you. The second part, the recovery seed, is also created upon initiation, and this goes into a separate recovery card, which you can store separately from the key, beefing up your security. Hash Wallet is in the initial product launch stages, and they have an Indiegogo campaign live starting today. And they have campaign backer levels from a single card all the way up to retail partner level, each with their own perks and benefits. So if this is a hardware wallet you want to see in your wallet, their Indiegogo campaign and website is down in the description for you to check out. So back to the overshoot and collapse. Well, this is actually a scientific model, and its effects are found throughout nature nature, from species all the way down to microorganisms and cells, to species all the way up to bears and humans. And it's when a population and consumption of resources reaches a critical limit, and eventually the population boom collapses. I have dug deep into this concept before in a video titled "Bitcoin Will Bring On the Great Wealth Transfer by 2021. You should check it out after this video. It's in the description, of course. Now, a depletion of resources by a blood-sucking organism and the resulting apocalypse happens hourly in the microorganism world, daily in the insect world, yearly in the mammal world, and every so 500 to 1,000 years with humans. The fall of the Roman Empire and the fall of the equally, if not more advanced Han Dynasty, Mauryan Empire, and the Gupta empires, as well as so many advanced Mesopotamian empires, are all testimony to the fact that advanced, sophisticated, complex, and creative civilizations can be both fragile and impermanent. We are not immune because, just like societies before, the rich and elite broke another rule, the 80-20 rule. This says that once 20% of a population begins consuming 80% of the resources, while 80% of the population only consumes 20% of the resources, something big happens to bring it back into equilibrium. War, famine, or disease plagues a civilization, usually resulting in a complete collapse of empires. And we're seeing that locally here in the United States as well as globally. The top 1% here in the US now owns over 40% of the wealth, aka resources, while the bottom 90% just owns now less than 20%. The elite, the lizard people, obviously have taken too much of the pie that we call wealth. And using a pie cut up into 100 pieces, let's just look at what ideal pie distribution would be if the greedy elite gave a rat's bungholio. Top 20% get 32 pieces of pie, second 20%, 22 slices of pie, middle 20%, 21 slices of pie, fourth, 13 slices of pie, and the bottom 20% would get 11 slices. Well, with wealth distribution in America right now, the wealthy get 90 slices of pie, second 20% just 8 slices, middle 20%, 2 slices, fourth, 0 slices, and the bottom 20% get a negative 1 slice of pie. We are out of balance. We are on the edge of overshoot and collapse. And if you didn't realize, the stimulus that was just passed just pushed this inequality to a level that will push us over that edge. Will it be war? Will it be famine? Will it be disease? I'd watch out for all three. Cheers, I'll see you next time.